Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. And let's start off taking a look at some of the earnings trades or earnings just reactions and just kind of see what's going on there. This is Trip. Trip, of course, in a similar vein as Priceline, which reports in the morning. So they typically move together. So with Priceline, we could look for something like this where you get a flush down. In this case, it flushed down $5. The expected move was $7. Okay. And then you can see here from here it went up. I love the strategy here of trying to buy a stock after hours when it dips down like this. You buy puts first, so your risk is limited, and you get filled and it heads up like that, which is great. So I didn't do that on Trip, but I tried to do it on Tesla. So what happened? Nothing. I didn't get filled. So it would have been, so the expected move on this is $16. So what I did is I placed orders to buy the stock. I bought the 212.50 puts, okay, and then I placed order to buy the stock around $215 or so, and we just didn't get down there. So it did exactly what I wanted it to do. We just didn't get down there. So I'm going to lose. So I bought some puts as protection. That's my insurance, and I will lose that tomorrow, but that's okay. This is one of those things where you do it on a couple of stocks. It only has to work out once, and it'll make up for dozens of times where you didn't get filled on the stock. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about a pairs trade here. So this is the yen futures here, okay, and then this is the 30-year bond. And based on what the markets are doing right now, we've got a situation here where bonds have actually sold off into support pretty hard, okay, and yen just won't go down and is trying to find signs of going higher. So a pair trade here to kind of lock this in as a spread is to buy the yen futures here, okay, and then essentially short the bond futures. Now, if the bonds collapse and continue going lower, that's great. They're going to fall at a faster rate than the yen has been going higher. But what we haven't seen is bonds and yen moving together. Okay, so how would you structure this? All right, so if you look at this here, this is the positions from the trading room. And here's the yen trade. You can see +1, and then the bond trade -1. And at this point, we hold them together. And you see on the yen futures, I'm down $137, but on the bond futures, I'm up $375. So as a spread, okay, we're profitable on the spread. Now, you may not want to do futures. It's like, wow, John, the margin requirement here on the yen is going to be $3,300, and on the bonds is $3,700. I don't want to risk that much. Okay, well, and also keep in mind too that they're designed, the way the spread is structured is it's designed they're designed to offset each other, right? But the other way you could do this, you can see here I've got FXY and TLT, okay? So this is a much lower risk way to do it, and what I do here is to simply say, okay, well, what are we doing? We're going long the yen futures, right? So for FXY, I'm going to be buying, okay? And I'm going to buy a delta 70 call. So in this case, there's the call that I bought. And then on TLT, bonds were going to go down, so we're going to buy a delta 70 put. Now in this case, since the puts, so we can go compare apples to apples, since the puts were like $5 and this was like $2, I just added another call to kind of even it out. So here you can see that down $30 on the yen, and on TLT, which of course is closed right now while the bonds are moving, is up 350. Okay, and so that's an example of a pairs trade where it's a low risk trade, but you have the potential for a fairly clean piece of profits based on that interrelated movement to the markets. All right, so if you are interested in that kind of trading, which is called pairs trading, whether you're doing it with futures or with options or with stocks, Don Kaufman is going to be doing a class this Saturday on pairs trading. Okay, the class itself is $297. Where I think the real value and stuff like this, though, is that once you learn how to do it, then you can watch him do it live, okay, in a live trading session, and that's $397. So the idea here is that if you want to do that, great. The $397 gets you the live trading, and that also includes this. Okay, so you get this. It includes Saturday. But the idea with this is just like I showed you with that yen trade and the bond trade, is the real question is how would you ever even know that that was something that you should do? Okay. And then once you figure out how to do it, is it something where do you even want to mess with futures? Okay, because some people don't trade futures. A lot of people don't trade futures. Okay, great. Okay, but can you do that with options? And the answer is absolutely. In that case, it's like, well, look, there's this correlation. It's a proven correlation here in terms of a pairs trade. Long and short bonds, great. You can go buy Delta 70 calls on FXY and Delta 70 puts on TLT. Bam, you've got a legitimate pairs trade. And the thing I actually like about the options is that if you get to one level, like one just takes off, you can take that profit and see if the other one actually comes back. Okay, so there's some nice things with options because it's limited risk. And then of course you could do it with the actual ETF as well. Anyway, Don's going to take you through this whole process on how to find the pairs, set up the pairs, and then show you how to do it live in the live trading session. Okay. Simpleroptions.com/pairs. You can also go to simplerstocks.com/pairs. It's the same link, same class. And I'll be on there Saturday watching because this is something that Don has a lot of experience with. I don't have as much experience, and I want to see what he has to say. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you at the next update.